This is the Rossi Rio Bravo. It is a 22 long rifle lever action gun. Now, I've been wanting to review this rifle for basically the entire time I've had a YouTube channel. I absolutely love the Space Cowboy looking lever guns, and I'll put up an example picture on screen here. Now, obviously, this is not that. This is substantially more minimalistic, and it is also substantially cheaper. So that is kind of the goal of this. Get a Space Cowboy type rifle on the cheap. Now, they do offer this rifle in a wood trim version. The action is identical as far as I'm aware. The sights are different, but we'll get to that. Now, this one is polymer furniture. You got a polymer stock, and you have a polymer handguard with M-lock on the sides and bottom. On the top, it looks like there are cutouts for polymer, but they didn't actually, or for M-lock, but they didn't actually make them. But they are indented, so I assume if you have a Dremel, maybe? No, actually, no, it wouldn't work because the barrel is too low. So I don't even know why they put those there, but works. And as much as people might clown on it, I put a foregrip on a lever gun. It looks stupid, but it also looks kind of cool, like in a stupid way. And personally, I really like using vertical foregrips. I find the standard rifle grip, it's not very comfortable on my wrists. I can use it, it's just not preferable. So, any chance I have to put on a vertical foregrip, I will. And it also has dovetail sights or dovetail mounting. So you will need an adapter, and I will show that in a second here. But before I get into that, it is a 18-inch barrel, and it is fed through the standard, um, little tube thing. Drop, there it is. Drop the rounds in there, push the plunger all the way back in, and lock it up. So it's a bit slower to reload, but you can get it done with enough practice pretty quickly. The loop is not too long. It's pretty easy to actuate. In fact, it's a very smooth operation. One of the best parts is absolutely the loop and the actuation. It is very smooth, it's very nice to use. The trigger is a bit heavy. It's a two-stage trigger. And also you have a crossbolt safety. So it's a two-stage trigger. First one is pretty light. The second one, I believe, is about 4.5, 5 pounds. It's certainly usable, but it's not the best trigger you've ever felt. It's pretty bog standard. I like the double action, or not double action, the two-stage, but some might not. Now, I did two configurations of this. I had the LPVO on it, which put this whole package at about 6 pounds. Take that off, put on a red dot, and this was about 5.1 pounds, which is really good. The for a person like me, a college student, this is the perfect budget lever gun to take out when you cannot afford other ammo. You'll be at shooting 300 rounds out of a box. You'll be at the range for an hour or two, just plinking around. Great way to spend money on a firearm if you're in a budget. If you're looking for something to teach a youth, I think this would be perfect for a tween, someone 10 to 13 that's learning firearms. You can very easily control how many rounds you put into the rifle. You can very easily empty it all out. You can put a scope on it, teach them some marksmanship. You can teach them some fundamentals with some iron sights, which are included. Oop, not that box. This one. So you get a fiber optic front sight. So you get fiber optic rear sight, green, and a red fiber optic front sight that sits on this. I took them off because I have a scope and a red dot, but you can teach them some iron sight fundamentals. You want to put a red dot on there, you can teach them how to use a red dot, and you can also teach them the mechanics of a firearm. Lever guns are very simple, and at 5 pounds with a red dot, I think any tween should be totally fine to pick this up and take a couple shots off the shoulder. Obviously, shoot it off a bench. I think this would be great for that too. Or maybe you just want something light if you need to go varmint hunting or something. This would also work pretty well. So, first of all, I'm going to get into the internals of it. It's very simple. And then I will get into the shooting portion of it and the accuracy. And this is the internals. It is very simple. It is just the 4 screws or 2 screws on either side, 4 total. And the nice part is if you have an optic zeroed, you don't have to worry about losing 0. Since this entire casing comes off, your optic can also come off with it. Now, the bolt sits in the top here, and very simple. It's a bit dirty. I haven't cleaned it since I shot it, but it's a very simple bolt, and it's a very simple mechanism. The handguard comes off with 1 screw. Just unscrew this, pull it forward. The front and rear sight, or the front sight, has to be off, the entire thing, for it to come off. And I believe this also has to come off. But if you need to take it off, you can easily take it off with in order to get some accessories on if you need to do it that way. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's really not much to it. Now, we'll go into the shooting footage when I come back. Alright, now, let's start out with the accuracy portion right here. Now, I just did it kind of offhand, not totally stable, and I was about 23 yards. I'm not going to take this out to the rifle range. There's no reason to. This is a plinking rifle. And if you're hunting varmint, it should be totally fine. Now, again, it's not totally stable, and there is user error, obviously, but accuracy is pretty good. 3 shots almost right on top of each other and 1 flyer. I think that's my fault, not the fault of the rifle. Plenty accurate, easy hits on steel at the 23-ish yard mark. Totally fine accuracy-wise. Good for any plinking or basic varmint hunting, I'd say within 50 yards. Don't go trying to snipe varmints with this thing at 300. I mean, don't do that with most rifles, 22 rifles, but still, good to know. And here is the rest of the shooting footage. Now, I really want to emphasize how smooth the bolt is. It is surprisingly smooth. Like, I haven't had a lever gun before, and I've read a lot of reviews and watched a lot of reviews of other lever guns, 22 lever guns, and a lot of people describe them as being sloppy or crude in their manufacturing or whatever. That's really not the case here. This gun is really well put together. The machining is really nice, and the bolt operation was really smooth. I didn't have any trouble getting any shots off or anything. And when you're watching the footage from the side, it looks mundane, as most 22s do. It looks like nothing is happening. But from the first person perspective, hopefully you can kind of see that it is really, like, you feel the small bit of recoil that's there. It's more than an air gun, more than anything like that. And it's really, really enjoyable to shoot. I don't know how else to say it other than it is just really enjoyable to shoot. And again, I'll say, for tweens learning, excellent rifle. For students on a budget, for anyone on a budget that's looking for a space cowboy type rifle, this is an excellent choice. And for $500, which is what I paid for it, even anywhere between $450, $550, I think it's an excellent choice for that. Now, it will have some competition coming up kind of soon. Daria Arms, or as the U.S. importer calls it, the Rock Island, they are coming out with a Space Cowboy type lever gun in 22 that accepts TM22 magazines. So it is a magazine fed lever gun in 22, which would be very, very cool. Now, TM22 magazines are kind of expensive, so it would probably be a, when you include magazines, it'll probably be just a slight price class above this. We'll see. As soon as that hits the Canadian market, I will buy it and review it, because that is my most anticipated gun of the year, considering how unique it is. That video will come, maybe even, it might be even next year. It depends how quickly they can get the import of these guns into Canada. But that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this mini review on the Rossi Rio Bravo. Like, comment, subscribe. I will have shorts of this thing coming out. I will have a video on a Tokarev muzzle brake that I finally got in, coming out probably next week. And then I will have, hopefully, an overview of the, what's it called? ST22, the charging handle version of the 1022, sometime next week as well. So, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss those videos, and have a good day.